Hey everyone! Today I will be reviewing the Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean Medicom Real Action Heroes figure. First I'm going to give a brief history of the figure to those who don't know its importance or rarity. If you do not wish to see this small portion of the video, feel free to jump to this timestamp provided. With that out of the way, let's get started. As you know, this is a part of the Medicom Real Action Heroes line of posable figures. I've been collecting these for some time now, and I finally have Part 6 Jotaro in my collection. This figure is very rare and expensive compared to the rest of the JoJo figures in this line. That's because way back in 2011, the Wonder Festival Summer Convention had this figure as an exclusive. This was actually limited to 1,000, meaning that there are only 1,000 of these figures out there in the world, and I'm fortunate enough to own one and be able to share it with you guys today so you get an up-close view of it. So, with that out of the way, let's get started and see what this figure is all about. Alright, before we actually get into the figure itself, I kind of wanted to show off the box art as it's really nice and detailed. The front here shows Jotaro with his main sculpt head and his alternate head. The side of the box looks great. The back does as well. And the coolest thing about this box, in my opinion, is the little metal flap it comes with. It's magnetic actually, and you can open it up and it gives you a nice little detailed picture of the figure itself. And if the figure was actually in the box, you could actually see it displayed here with all of its accessories and stuff. It's really organized and nice, and I just felt like I wanted to show that off. Alright, now starting with the head sculpt, I believe that Medicom went for the more detailed version of Jotaro that is depicted in Araki's third volume cover of Stone Ocean, as you can see here. The similarities in the face are almost uncanny in my opinion, and they did a fantastic job with this head sculpt. Also, as you can see here, the head does have full rotation. You can tilt it in any direction you want. Very good for posing, and overall, the head sculpt itself is just phenomenal, and I love every bit of it. Alright, let's move on to the torso. As you can see, Jotaro is still wearing his notable Part 6 shirt, which is, again, in great design here. His jacket is also very similar to the manga, almost straight out of the pages. Very detailed with the zippers and his golden chain, and also the golden stars around the collar of his jacket. Alright, moving on to the back side of the jacket, we have that notable green star which is also in the front of his shirt, his hat, his cuffs, and along the sleeves of his jacket. And again, these stars are just great detail. Again, the jacket is also made of cloth, so it looks like actual fabric and it just looks very nice. And one of my favorite details about Part 6 JoJo has always been his sleeves and how they have JoJo written down the side. It just screams JoJo, and I just one of those little things that I love about his design. And seeing that they put it on the figure, and not only that, but it looks fantastic, it makes me so giddy. I love it. And as we're looking at the back, we might as well get that iconic hat hair on the back of Jotaro's head, as it's still in fashion with this head sculpt again. Shout out to whoever made this head sculpt, it's fantastic. And yeah, you have that iconic hat hair. It looks great. Alright, now that the torso is done with, let's move on to his hands. As you can see, they are very detailed, and there's also many other sculpts of hands that he comes with as accessories, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. Yeah, overall great detail on the hands here. They look fantastic. Another thing I want to point out is on Jotaro's left hand, he is wearing his watch that is notable throughout his appearances in Part 6. And one of the most awesome details I have ever seen is if you look closely at the watch, it is actually getting affected by Made in Heaven. Time is speeding up, and as you can see, the hands on the watch are actually spinning really fast. They have that design. I'll show a picture here from the manga for reference, but this is just something that is so cool, and I just love it. It's the attention to detail in this figure is phenomenal, and there's no wonder this figure is so expensive and rare. They really put all their effort into this one, guys. Alright, moving on to his pants and his belt here. And yes, Jotaro is rocking his snakeskin pants. Iconic look from Stone Ocean. His belt here, again, great detail. It looks awesome. And I just love the snake fabric here. Also, if you do feel it, it actually feels like leather in a way. Like, it's not cheap. Like, again, this figure is just so nice. And the attention to detail in this print is just phenomenal. I love it. Alright, looking at the boots here, they look fantastic, guys. You can see the heel of it, and also they have that snakeskin pattern. And you can actually move these feet up and down, pose them in any way you want. Great for just any stance you want Jotaro to take here. They did awesome. Also, another thing I wanted to point out here is Jotaro's coat here, his jacket. at the very end there's a small wire inside, and you can actually kind of pose his jacket. Like if you want it to flare up in the wind like he does when he's pointing and Star Platinum comes out and he's got that iconic look. Yeah, you can actually kind of do that with this figure. And again, like they took those extra steps in it just to make it authentic and awesome. Really awesome detail. Alright, let's get on to the different hands that Jotaro comes with. And again, you can kind of pose these hands in any way as the wrist rotates. The fingers don't, they're all stiff. But yeah, you can get that wrist rotation. Again, any kind of design you want with these, with the poses. But if you look at the hands here, again, they look awesome. You got this one where he's kind of grabbing something, reaching his hand out. He's got one where his hand is in a fist here, one for each hand. I'll show the other one in a second here. Again, awesome detail. And this one, kind of like he's doing a karate chop. I'm not sure what pose this is from, or page, or manga panel, but again, it looks great. The detail's just awesome. And I want to point out that these hands here, they actually do fit in his coat pocket and his pants. So if you want to pose him like he's doing that iconic pose when Jolene first sees him in Green Dolphin Street, and he's got his hands in his jacket and he's just standing there menacingly, like you could do that pose if you wanted. Like just awesome, really cool. Alright, and to the highlight of the video, in my opinion, is the second head sculpt that Jotaro comes with. And yep, this is from that iconic panel. I'll show a picture here from the manga. This is when Whitesnake steals Jotaro's discs. Yep, his memory and stand disc. Uh, Words can't express how detailed this is in person. I hope the camera does it justice, but it's just phenomenal. This is by far the coolest piece in the whole set that he comes with. If you look closely at the discs here, they actually say disc, and they're like holographic. And again, like just the detail, you can see like the pieces of the hat that comes out with the disc, the little indent from his nose that comes out, and on his right eye, you can just see the little white snake symbols from on white snake's skin, noting that he's affected by the stand. It's just the head sculpt. It's just awesome. Again, I just hope the camera is doing this justice. It's just beautiful. Unfortunately, though, with this head sculpt, there's no really reasonable poses you could do with this head, as it's just Jotaro getting attacked. So you would have to put him like in a attacked stance, and in my opinion, that's not the most fun way to pose Jotaro. If you do have the Medicom Real Action Heroes Whitesnake statue that I do own, you could probably do a little fun scenario scene where Whitesnake's taking on his discs. That'd be cool. But again, yeah, there's no really feasible way to pose him with this head, but it's just such a nice little callback and addition to this. I always pose this head when I am posing and displaying this figure, so it's still definitely worth it, and it's great. All right, so overall, I'd honestly have to give this figure a 10 out of 10. The amount of detail they put into Jotaro here is outstanding. I love it in every way. It was definitely worth the money. And with the anime being released and out now, unfortunately, I feel like this figure is just going to get even more expensive. But if you are a big fan of JoJo and you are a big fan of Stone Ocean or Jotaro in general, I highly recommend picking up this figure if you so can at any point. It's definitely worth it. Alright, that's going to do it for this video, guys. And again, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I'm just so fortunate enough to own this figure and to show it off to you guys in great detail as best as I could. Um, Having researched this figure, I had noticed that there is no video reviews that I could find online. And I felt like I owed it to the community and the people who collect these figures who want to see this figure and all the things it comes with and all the cool details about it, who aren't fortunate enough to own it like I am. I just really wanted to show it off to you guys. Again, I felt like I owed it to the community as they're awesome. So, overall, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day.